Have you ever delved into the enigmatic pattern of history's cyclical nature? The eerie way it often mirrors itself with astounding precision? Today, we plunge deep into the mesmerizing concept of the Strauss-Howe generational theory. In their trailblazing book, The Fourth Turning, William Strauss and Neil Howe meticulously explore this fascinating theory of cyclical patterns in American and Western history. The book illumines past events like the American Revolution, the Civil War, and the Great Depression, demonstrating their place in the historical cycle. It portrays these events not as isolated incidents, but as crucial components of a broader recurring trajectory. The Strauss-Howe generational theory provides a captivating perspective suggesting that historical events are interconnected elements in a cyclical pattern of history, revolving around generational archetypes. These archetypes, nomads, heroes, and artists, each instigate a new era, which typically lasts for 2 to 2.5 decades. The nomad generation, coming of age during a spiritual awakening, shows survivalist characteristics. The hero generation, born after the awakening, are team-oriented and optimistic. The artists, born during a crisis period, are sensitive and focused on healing and rebuilding. The theory revolves around the concept of turnings, critical periods in history that shape the course of societal evolution. There are 4 turnings. The first turning is a high, an era of rejuvenation and strong institutions, akin to the post-World War II boom. The second turning is an awakening, a time of spiritual exploration and rebellion against the established order, much like the 60s and 70s counterculture. The third turning is an unraveling, with eroding social structures and a growing individualism reminiscent of the late 1980s and early 90s. The fourth turning, as depicted in the book's title, is a crisis, marked by significant upheaval like the Great Depression and the potential for dramatic change. The theory suggests that the values, attitudes, and behaviors of each generation are shaped by their place in the cycle of turnings, thus influencing the course of history. The intriguing argument of the book is that these cycles are vital to our societal evolution. Understanding them equips us with a powerful lens to interpret our past, present, and future. It suggests that an awareness of these cycles can help to anticipate future trends and challenges, thus offering insights for societal planning and development. This deep dive into the Strauss-Howe generational theory uncovers a profound understanding of history and the forces that drive societal change. In the theory, a key term, saeculum, is introduced, which stands for a long human lifespan, more specifically in the range of 80 to 100 years. This term, saeculum, is of significant importance in the understanding of the theory, as it serves as the primary unit of measurement for the cyclical patterns discussed therein. The saeculum inherently incorporates the concept of crisis and recovery, a repeating pattern that unfolds over the course of a saeculum. Each saeculum is marked by the occurrence of a crisis, a period of intense upheaval and disarray. This crisis is then followed by a recovery period, during which society regains its footing and stability. The recovery period holds immense significance as it is a time characterized by the establishment of sturdy institutions and the reassertion of communal values. Essentially, these institutions and values serve as pillars of strength for the society, promoting unity and mutual cooperation. However, this prevailing sense of communalism is not perennial. As time progresses, subsequent generations born in the post-crisis period tend to challenge and weaken these institutions which were solidified in the recovery period. They begin to favor individualism over collectivism, ushering in a significant shift in societal values. This shift towards individualism often results in a turbulent political environment. Society is strained as the balance between individual desires and communal needs is disrupted, often leading to political instability. This increasingly fraught environment paves the way for the onset of crisis, a clear demonstration of the cyclical nature of saeculum. In essence, the concept of saeculum and the patterns it encompasses deeply impacts institutions and politics. It serves as a reminder that societal values and structures are not static, but are in a constant state of flux, reshaped by the recurring patterns of crisis and recovery. In the late 1980s, the world of generational studies was revolutionized by the partnership of Strauss and Howe. Their seminal works, Generations and The Fourth Turning, offered a unique perspective into the molding of generations, with an emphasis on the millennials. Recognizing the patterns and shifts in different generations, as proposed by the authors, can enable us to foresee and brace ourselves for impending societal transformations. However, The Strauss-Howe generational theory, like any broad-reaching concept, has attracted its share of skepticism. Some detractors pinpoint determinism as a fundamental flaw, contending that the theory paints an overly rigid and predetermined picture of societal cycles. Additionally, critics have pointed to a dearth of empirical evidence supporting the theory, suggesting that history is too intricate and multifaceted to be reduced to recurring patterns. Despite these criticisms, it's undeniable that the Strauss-Howe generational theory has made a significant impact across a range of fields. Its influence has extended beyond generational studies, permeating areas such as marketing and business management. The theory provides an innovative lens through which to view societal shifts, offering valuable insights into how these changes influence individuals as well as institutions. In essence, the Strauss-Howe generational theory, detailed in The Fourth Turning, offers a cyclical interpretation of history. It postulates that every or long human life ushers in a period of crisis, which is then followed by a recovery phase. This recuperative period is characterized by a resurgence of institutions and communal values. Intriguingly, these revitalized institutions inevitably face opposition from succeeding generations, setting the stage for another crisis. While the theory has been criticized for its deterministic approach and lack of empirical support, what sets it apart is its potential in illuminating societal shifts. It provides a unique lens to interpret the past, grasp the present, and foresee the future. Therefore, the Strauss-Howe generational theory serves as a powerful tool when contemplating history's cyclical nature. This theory could be the key to unlocking essential insights that you seek to comprehend societal changes across time. Today, we take a closer look at the 4 generational archetypes outlined in the Strauss-Howe generational theory. These include the prophet, nomad, hero, and artist. Each of these archetypes carries unique attributes and contributes significantly to societal evolution. Beginning with the prophets, they are born during a high, an era of prosperity and development. These individuals are the indulged offspring of a post-crisis age, maturing into the self-absorbed young crusaders of an awakening. Entering midlife, they focus on morals and principles, acting as the moral compass of society. Transitioning to the nomads, they make their entrance during an awakening, defined by social ideals and spiritual agendas. Their upbringing is marked by a lack of protection, leading them to become alienated adults during an unraveling. As they reach midlife during a crisis, they emerge as pragmatic leaders, guiding society with their practical and grounded approach. Moving on to the heroes, they are born during an unraveling, a time when individual pragmatism, self-reliance, and laissez-faire attitudes dominate. Their protected upbringing post-awakening shapes them into team-oriented young optimists as they come of age during a crisis. As midlifers, their energetic and overly confident demeanor leads society through challenging times. Finally, we have the artists, born amidst a crisis, a period when immense dangers seem insurmountable. They grow up under the protective watch of adults preoccupied with the crisis, maturing into sensitive young adults in a post-crisis world. As they step into midlife during an awakening, they become empathetic leaders, guiding society with sensitivity and understanding. By comprehending these archetypes and their predictable life patterns, we can anticipate societal trends and changes. This understanding provides us with a comprehensive lens to appreciate the past, make sense of the present, and predict the future across generations. Delving deeply into the predictions put forth by the Strauss-Howe generational theory, it's fascinating to examine how these forecasts have manifested in real-world scenarios. Expounded upon in their book, The Fourth Turning, they dared to make several audacious predictions. Starting with an anticipated crisis around 2005, Strauss and Howe's prophecy surprisingly aligns with the Great Recession. This economic collapse had far-reaching impacts on our society, significantly shaping the outlook and actions of the generations that weathered it. Another prediction by these theorists was the emergence of a fresh generation of heroes. Could we witness this in the proactive activism of millennials? This generation has demonstrated an eagerness to champion change, displaying bravery and tenacity in tackling societal and environmental issues. The final forecast that Strauss and Howe made was the swing towards a communal orientation in values. This could be noticeable in the emergence of numerous social movements campaigning for equality, justice, and the safeguarding of our environment. Although these predictions might not be always spot on, they offer an enlightening perspective to perceive the evolution of our society. The Strauss-Howe generational theory underscores that the shifts we see between generations are not sporadic, but part of a much larger cycle that is still in progress.